p.m. is 9:02. So we're gonna jump right into our warm-ups. We do this every single day to practice a little bit of consistency, to build some community, and to make staying consistent a little bit more fun, a little easier to do. Because at the end of the day, consistency is the most important skill ever. All right? Oh man, I'm tired. We're gonna get into our hip cars. This is the first warm up exercise in our series, and they look a little like this. We're going to start by bringing this knee up as high as we can. We're going to open up that hip. We're going to point that leg over that way while keeping the leg more or less in the same spot. We're going to rotate so that we bring the knee down and we lift the ankle up. We're going to keep going. We're going to keep on bringing the knee down, keep on bringing the ankle up while keeping the hips more or less stable. Try to keep them from moving and going crazy all over the place. And then as soon as your hamstrings start cramping up, we're ready to bring that leg down and back. All right? When we bring the leg down and back, I want you to focus on flexing the hamstrings, flexing the glutes, feeling the stretch right here, and that is 1 rep. We're doing 10 of these on the left side, 10 of these on the right side, and then we'll have more to do later. But for now, let's start with those. Let's do it, high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 1, high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 2, high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 3. I think Che just came in and said hello, Che. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 4, whew, high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 5, high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 6. Keep going, high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 7, I think, high knee. 3 more. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8. 2 more, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Last 1, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Whew, that is a whole bunch of hip cars going forward on the left leg. We're going to pause for a second. We're going to shake out our hips, do a little dance, and we're going to continue with the other side. Whew, let's go. Stand up nice and straight. Keep that core nice and strong and tight, and high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 1, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 2, high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 3, high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. That's 4, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 5, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 6, high knee. Open, ankle up some more, down and back. I think that's 7, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 8. 2 more, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Last 1, high knee. Open, ankle up, down and back. That's 10. Woo! Oh, shake out your legs, do a little wiggle, move those hips, hula hoop. Oh, give yourself a light massage. And let's get ready to go in reverse. All right, we're gonna do some reverse hip cars. Basically the same set of movements. We're gonna get into the same positions as before we go in reverse order. And they look a little bit like this. We're gonna start by bringing the leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. We're gonna lift that leg up to the side so that this leg is nice and level. Then we're gonna rotate, bring the knee down, lift the ankle up, rotate some more, bring the ankle down, bring the knee up, bring the knee forward. That is 1 rep. We're gonna do 10 of these. I'm gonna face you for most of them so that it's easier for you to mirror me. And I think that's all the information I got. So let's get ready to begin. Stand up nice and straight, keep that core tight, and down and back. Lift to the side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 1. Back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 2. Back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 3. Back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 4. Keep going. Back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 5. Keep going. 5 more. Back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 6, 4 more back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 7, 3 more back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 8, 2 more back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee, that's 9, last one back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Oh man. 10 more hip guards. In reverse. Done. We got one last leg. This one. Do a quick shake, do a quick wiggle, relax some muscles, and let's get ready to go. Stand up nice and tall. Keep that core nice and tight. And let's go. Bring that leg down and back. Side. Ankle up, ankle down, knee. While you're doing this, I want you to really try your best to contract those muscles so you can lift or rotate as much as possible. And try your best to keep the standing leg and the hip attached to it as stable as possible. All right? I think that's 3. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 4. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 5. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 6. Oh man, I'm tired. I lost balance. If you lose balance, feel free to hold on to something for a little support and make sure to keep going. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 7. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 8. 2 more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 9. Last one. Back. Really lift. Lift some more. Rotate. Rotate. Knee. That's it. We're done with our hip guards. Hopefully, you're feeling not too tired. You're feeling like you're a little bit more mobile than you first started. Maybe you're a little bit excited. Rena says, "Do we really change sides?" We did. I'm done. I'm done with everything. We're done, 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 done. There's no more hip cards until tomorrow. Oh, wow, I'm quite out of breath for some reason. Maybe I talked too much today, or maybe whatever was making me feel tired yesterday is just getting a little bit more intense. Maybe I'm catching a cold. I'm not sure, but enough delay. It's time to get into our second warm-up exercise. We're doing some elephant walks. All right. If you guys don't know, this is a side split and hip mobility show that we do every day at 9 p.m. And while I tell you about this, I want you to bring the belly button down towards the ground, and see if you can try to relax into the ground. All right, relax your back. Sink into the floor. Inhale, exhale. Chill. All right. While you hang out here for a second, I want you to inhale and exhale, nice and slow. And I'm going to ask you to bend one knee, straighten out the other leg, bring your belly button down. All right. Then we're going to do the other side. We're going to switch the leg that's bent, switch the leg that's straight, and we're going to keep going. Switch, and switch, and switch, and switch. You don't have to go at my exact tempo, but keep on switching back and forth. And while you keep switching, I'm going to tell you about the rest of the lie. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering that we are currently putting ourselves through, and we will continue to put ourselves through, a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, a little easier to stay consistent with. And that is, that's the main thing. So if you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, if you want a little help practicing consistency, make sure to follow, subscribe, and whenever you doom scroll, look forward to seeing my content, because I try to introduce a little bit of exercise that you can do anywhere into your doom scrolling so you can get some benefit out of it. Cool? Cool. All right, let's go. Once you've done a bunch of these, I want you to refocus on that belly button, and I want you to fold down a little bit deeper. If you can get a little bit deeper, great. And keep going. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Come on up out of that. Hop into a squat before if you can, and come back into standing. You should have felt that quite a bit in your hamstrings, and that's because we're doing hamstring stuff. And we'll have more hamstring stuff, and then we'll have even more hamstring stuff because there's a lot of hamstring stuff. We're going to move on into our third warm-up exercise. All right, it's called the thoracic rotation. The thoracic spine is this chunk of your back below the neck, slightly above the belly button. It's designed to move, bend, and slouch, or bend forward and do the opposite, chest out. So we're going to add a little bit of rotation, get a little bit more mobility out of our spine, and we're going to do it from the position that we were just in. One leg is bent, one leg is straight, one belly button is going that way. You only have one, hopefully. So once you're here in this position, we're going to take the arm from the bent leg side. We're going to reach across to the straight leg. We're going to push off that shin, and we're going to open up and rotate. I want you to try your best to stick your other arm straight up into the air. And I want you to rotate your neck to look at that hand. Ooh, look at that freshly cut fingernail. I don't know where I'm going with this. And then we're going to inhale, exhale, and reach. Ooh, that is half a rep. We're going to do the other side. All right. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Fold forward, open up. Look at the hand. Inhale, exhale, and reach. When you go for that reach, really make sure you're exhaling. Air is coming out of your lungs. It'll take some pressure out of your chest, and it will go. Let you bend and twist and stuff. And that's what we want. All right? That's one rep. We got 4 more to go because we're doing 5. Let's go. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Open it up. Inhale. Exhale and reach. That's 2. Other side. 2. 3 more. Let's go. Open it up. Look at the hand. Inhale. Exhale and reach. That's 3. Part 1. 3, part 2. 4. 4 again. Last one. I'm going to explain it from the top. One leg is bent. One leg is straight. Both legs are pointed forward. All right. We're going to fold, bring the belly button down. The leg that is bent, we're going to take the arm from that side. We're going to reach across. We're going to push off the shin of that straight leg while we're folding forward. We're going to rotate and extend our other arm up into the air. Look at the hand. Your neck is rotated. Inhale, exhale, and reach. That's 5. Other side. Inhale, exhale, reach. Whew. Oh, man. Those are some thoracic rotations. If after those rotations, your shoulders, your back is feeling a little bit funky, because you don't use those muscles very often, they're just like, oh, super tired. That's okay. We don't need them for much of anything else for the rest of the show. All right. This is just a warm up to get our bodies prepared. And if they're feeling a little floppy right now, that's cool. Cool. All right. We're going to move on into our 4th and final warm up exercise. It's called the Cossack switch. It looks a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs. You don't have to jump in right away. I'm going to just demonstrate first, and then we'll talk about warming up for the warm up. All right. Let's go. One side is going to drop down into a deep squat. The other side is going to basically be doing a side split. And then we're going to hang out here for a second, try and get as low, as deep as we can. Then we're going to scoot our butts over to the other side, and then try to get low and deep. And then we're going to come back. The back and forth, that is 1 rep. For most of us, our ankles or knees or hips are not going to be ready for it. So everybody, let's pre-warm up for our warm-up. Come back into standing, drop into a little bit of a squat. Come on down to the ground. From the side, I want it to look something like this. Your heels are probably off the ground. Perfect. I want you to push your knees almost forward. I want you to bring your chest down towards your knees. All right? Pretend you're doing a cannonball. You're jumping into a swimming pool, into a pond, into a lake, and hang out here for a little bit. Ready? Inhale. Exhale. Relax. Chill. Right now, you should be feeling an Achilles tendon stretch, a calf stretch. That's good. We want that compression because we're going to need it for later. All right? Next, we're going to add a little bit of movement to help warm up the joints, get your muscles woken up. We're going to do some stuff that looks like this. I want you to drop the knee down towards the ground. If you can slowly, in a controlled way, bring that knee all the way down, please go ahead and give it a try. Then bring that knee back. Do the other leg. Boom. Knee all the way down. It's okay if you twist a little bit. It's not a big deal. Keep going. Down and down. If you can't reach all the way, you can just do a little drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. You don't have to go all the way to the floor. Cool. Next, let's open up the legs. Push one leg out all the way over there. Push the other leg out all the way over there. Bring both of them out at the same time. Pose, look cool, have fun with it, and hopefully your ankles, your knees, your hips are a little bit more tired than before, but the muscles are working because we're going to put them to work for serious now. All right. We're going to be done with our pre warm up and getting into the warm up thing that really should just be an exercise. Let's go. I'm going to move. You don't have to move because I can't see you, but you need to see me. We're sticking our hands straight down into the ground. All right. We're going to extend one leg out to the side. We're going to drop this heel down for stability, for support. And wherever you're at, wherever you're comfortable, we're going to get as low as we can. All right. If you're new to the show and you're like, I'm not quite sure what's going to happen, so I'm not going to go super deep, great idea. Try and stay a little bit higher up. Right. If you're familiar with the workout, if you're a regular, if you have great strength and flexibility, feel free to drop a little lower. All right. Wherever you are, next up, we're getting our butts over that way. So put your hands down if you need it. Scoot your butt over to the other side. And then come on back. Use those hands to support you with the strength and the balance component. Cool? That is one rep. We're going to do 9 more of these, 10 in total. All right? I want you to scoot your butt that way and scoot it back. And let's go. Heel down, leg extended, hands down. Boop, 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 boop. Boom. 1, 2. We're not going to count each side. I just realized that we had already done 1. Now we've done 3. All right. Keep on going. Across and back. That's 4. If you're feeling like you're strong enough to do this without your hands, you don't need the support. You got this. Boom. Feel free to continue without using your hands on the ground. I think this is 5. Keep going. Sink a little deeper into each rep if you can. And whew, that's 6. To make this a little bit harder, you can, instead of leaning super far forward, you can try and sit up a little bit straighter. Stick your head into the ceiling while staying low to the ground. And keep going. Across and back. That's 7. Keep going. Across and back. That's 8. At this point, if you're feeling a little bit of achiness in the knee, we're going to switch up the form. We're going to make it a little easier on the knees. All right? Come on up a little bit. Slide your butt across. Drop on back down. Up, across, down. I think this is 9. Last one, we're going to do some squats. All right? I want you to power through this leg. Boom! And then slowly come down on the other side. If at any point any of these were way too hard for you and you couldn't continue, feel free to not keep doing that thing that was too hard for you. All right? I think we just did 10 already. 10 and a half. That means we're done. We're done with our warm up. Hopefully, your hips are not too tired because we got some stretches to do. The goal of the warm up was to get our blood pumping, to get us reset from whatever it is that you had to do before this today, and wake up the back, wake up the hips, wake up all these little itty bitty leg muscles all over your body, and it's time to move on into our 5 stretches. The first stretch is a hamstring stretch. But before we get into that, I think it's important for me to remind you that we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility. We do this every single day to practice the number one most important quality, consistency. All right? You can have the best plan ever, but if you can't follow that plan, it's not the best plan for you. We try to build a little bit of consistency by making the show a little bit more entertaining. And hopefully, because we suffer together every day, you keep on coming back. All right. Hit follow, hit subscribe if hip mobility, side splits, and consistency are important to you. And otherwise, we're here at 9 p.m. every night. So come on back. If you're not in the time zone where 9 p.m. makes any sense, this live started 21 minutes ago, and that is the time we start every single day, Monday through Sunday. Cool? All right. Hamstring stretch. Let's jump into it. First thing I want you to do is grab a little bit of padding for your knee. I have some foam gym flooring type stuff. You don't need special equipment for this. All right. If you have a couch cushion, you have a decorative pillow, if you have a stuffed animal, you have a dog bed that's not being used, stick it under your knee and we're ready to go. All right. You got a flip flop with a little bit of foam. You got old sneakers that you can't be caught dead wearing outside. but you're not willing to throw away just yet, stick it under your knee. We're ready to go. Let's go. I want you to drop the knee down into the ground. I want you to look at this line: knee, hip, shoulder, head. I want that to be basically straight up and down, right? I don't want too much folding, not yet at least. I don't want too much of this, right, where this leg is coming backwards. Just nice and neutral, straight line. Cool? From here, we're going to extend one leg out in front so that we're getting into something that looks like a hamstring stretch, all right? If you need a little bit of help with balance, feel free to widen your stance a little bit. If you don't have that issue, bring your legs closer together. Cool? We're going to fold our belly buttons down to our legs. Fold, 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 fold some more, fold. Whew. This is our starting position. All right. From here, as soon as it gets a little too intense, I want you to pause, inhale, and relax. Oh, chill. All right. We're going to do that again. Inhale, relax. Oh, let your body drape down into that leg and chill. All right. Stick your hands down on the ground, kind of around your leg area for balance. We're going to add a little bit of movement. All right. We're going to bend one knee, the one that is really easily bent. We're going to bring the chest down to that leg. And we're going to slowly straighten out that leg. All right. We want to feel the hamstring stretch. We want to add a little bit of movement. We want to help wake up the body. We also want to practice this fold where you bring the belly button, the chest down to the thigh. And then you want to experiment with keeping your body really close to that leg while you straighten it out. Cool? We only really need to do 5. You're probably good. We're gonna get a little bit deeper into our stretch now. All right. I want you to do something called the inhale, exhale, fold. We're gonna take a big breath into our lungs. We're gonna slowly exhale that air out, and then we're gonna focus on folding the leg and the belly button together as much as possible the whole time that we're exhaling. Cool? Inhale, exhale, fold. Ready? Let's go. Big breath in. Slowly exhale and fold. Bring that belly button down. Fold, 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 fold. Whew. And when you feel that stretch tightening up and you're feeling like it's crazy, pause, inhale, relax. Let your body drape over that leg. One more time. Inhale, relax. Let your body drape over that leg in. We're ready to continue. A little bit more movement. Bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. Bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. You should be noticing that each time you do this, you don't have to bend the knee as much. You don't have to bring the chest down as much. That you're feeling like you're getting a little deeper into your position. That is what we want. If you're not feeling like it's making a massive difference right away, don't worry. Take your time. You don't have to rush this. Cool? All right. We've done a couple of those. We did the breathing. It's time to go a little deeper. Big inhale, exhale, and fold. This is the last one, I promise. Big inhale. Slowly exhale and fold. Fold, 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 fold. Oh, when you feel like you're ready to stop, inhale, relax. Inhale. Inhale. Relax. And drape that body over those leg, or I guess that leg, singular, because only one is in front of you. We're going to add that movement back in. Bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. 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 Once you're done, a bunch. And they don't have to be as fast as I made it sound like I was doing them. We're ready to hold for 30 seconds. All right, keep on trying to focus on bringing that belly button down to the thigh. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Feel free to stick your fingers into your hamstring muscles, squeeze them, poke them, massage them, distract your brain from how intense the stretch feels. Feel free to bend your knee a little bit, bring the chest down and straighten it back out. When you need a little bit of relaxation, that's okay too. And we're almost done. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. If your knee is a little bit achy, you can give it a slight bend. It'll take some pressure off your hamstring stretch. It'll also take a bunch of pressure off of your knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Whew, that is our hamstring stretch. Oh, come on out. Pull your legs in back together. Get to kneeling position. Practice that kneeling straight up and down position. Flex your glutes, flex your abs. Pose like you're doing a little Superman pose. And let's get ready to extend the other leg. Cool? Knee is straight down. Leg is extended out in front. We're bringing the belly button down to that side. Let's go. Wee! Ugh. As soon as you get stuck, feel free to stop and breathe. Inhale. Relax. Let your body drape over that leg. One more inhale. Relax. Let your body drape over that leg. And we're going to add some movement in. Ready? Let's go. Bend the knee. Chest down. Straighten it out. Bend the knee. Chest down. Straighten it out. Bend the knee. Chest down. Straighten out. Part of the reason why we do this is because we want to practice that forward fold. Trying to get the belly button down to the thigh. A lot of the time, a lot of us will be focused on just rounding your back and getting stuck into something like that and not actually making progress here at the hip. All right. The knee bend, the chest down is to emphasize the folding at the hip. So you don't forget that is our goal. Cool? All right. We've done a whole bunch of those. Let's get a little deeper. Big inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale. Slow exhale and fold. Whew. When you're feeling like you're a little bit deeper, it's time to inhale, relax. Inhale. One more inhale. Relax and whew, we're going to add a little bit more knee bend. Bend the knee, chest down, straighten it out. 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 Again, you don't have to go as fast as I just did. You can take your time with it, okay? Explosiveness is not the goal. Practicing the movement of folding is. Once you're here, we're ready to go a little deeper. Big inhale, exhale, and fold. Exhale and fold. Woo. Oh man, this is the last one. Inhale, relax. Get a little deeper. One more. Inhale, relax. And knee bend, straighten. Knee bend, chest down, 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 straighten. Once you've done about 5, we're ready to go. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 25, 24, 23. Feel free to add a couple of knee bends in every once in a while just to take some pressure off that hamstring. 22, 21, 20. Take your fingers, stab them into your hamstrings, give them a light massage. Take care of them. Distract your brain from how intense the stretch is. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is our hamstring stretch. This is our first stretch. Whew. Take a second, catch your breath, bring your legs in underneath you, get back into that kneeling position. Your hamstrings, maybe your glutes might feel a little funny. Maybe your low back is feeling a little funny. Take a couple seconds, flex the glutes, keep that core nice and tight, and hopefully that will help your muscles get back into a normal situation. We're going to move on, into our butterfly stretch. This is our second stretch. All right. I want you to scoot your butt over to a wall. And I want you to rest your butt, your hips, your shoulders, your head all up against the wall, and bring your feet together and pull them in. All right. This is our starting position. From here, we're working on our butterfly stretch. This is a stretch for the groin muscles here in the center of your legs. And the way we get into a more intense one is by bringing our knees down into the ground. All right. I want you to get stronger and I want you to have more control. So I want you to use your glutes. I want you to try to use your outer thighs to help open up your legs and get yourself into a deeper position. Cool? If you are brand new to the show and you're like, what are you talking about? How do I use those muscles? I have no idea what you're talking about. focus on two things. One, the stretch in your groin is getting more intense. Two, your knees are getting a little closer to the ground. That's all that matters. Everything else that you're flexing, you're messing around with, it could be wrong, but as long as you're moving in the right direction, it's okay. That's all that matters. Cool? All right. We're going to take this to the next level. We're going to take our hands, we're going to apply a little bit of pressure to the inside of the legs. All right? I want you to push your knees down towards the ground. We're going to count down from 30 seconds. Every time you exhale, I want you to try to push your legs down a little bit deeper. Ready? 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. If you're still flexing your glutes and your outer thighs real hard, feel free to relax them now. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15. Now try to contract them again. See if you can pull your legs closer to the ground while using your hands. 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Relax the muscles. See if you can push your knees down with your hands more. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, that is our stretch. Let your hands go. If your wrists are tired from pushing down, give them a little flop, give them a little shake, let them relax, and hopefully you let your legs go and they pop back up to wherever they actually want to be. All right? I want you to start flapping the wings of your butterfly. Give it a little shake, 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 shake. Let the hip muscles wake up again after that deep stretch. And when your legs are going up and down pretty good, it's time to move on into our third stretch, the standing pancake. All right? You can get rid of whatever foam you've been using to pad your knee. I use that particular piece of foam on the floor because my floor is really slippery. So when I push my legs down, my whole butt starts sliding away from the wall. I use the foam to have a little bit more traction. If you don't have the butt sliding away from the wall problem that I do, you don't need the foam. Cool? Cool. Standing pancake. Let's move on to our third stretch. The pancake looks a little bit like this. We're going to open up our legs decently wide. Doesn't have to be crazy, just wide. 60-ish degrees is plenty. All right? Make sure your hips don't hurt. If they do, you'll know immediately. There'll be like a pinching sensation, might be a little uncomfortable. If you're feeling pain, bring your legs in together just a little bit until you can do a little hip shake, do some hula hooping, and we're ready to continue. Fold this belly button down to the ground. Fold, 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 fold some more. Oh, as soon as you get stuck, you have found your starting position. All right. From the side, it looks a little bit like this. Boom. If it looks like another hamstring stretch, if it looks like the elephant walk, you are correct. There's going to be some hamstring involved. All right. From here, the goal of this stretch is to fold your upper body in between your legs. It looks a little bit like this. Fold, 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 fold. Fold some more. Fold again. Keep folding. And it is a really hard stretch. So we are in this position because when you're like this, your body is horizontal, gravity is going to be really, really effective at pulling you down into the ground. To make it even more effective, you can extend your arms past your head so that your biceps are by your ears. And next time you inhale, exhale, and relax. You'll feel that pull from gravity pulling you into a deeper stretch. Cool? If you're a beginner, stick with that. Just let gravity pull you down. If you're a little bit more advanced, we got lots of options. You can open up your legs a little bit wider. You can grab your legs a little bit to help pull yourself down in addition to using gravity's support. And what you do next is up to you, but we're doing it for 30 seconds, all right? Bring the belly button down towards the ground. Bring that belly button down towards the ground some more. Get ready to go, either extending your arms in front of you or grabbing your own legs to help pull yourself down into a deeper stretch. And let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27. You can switch at any time. You do not have to hold a crazy intense stretch. If you can't handle it, go find something easier that you can handle a little bit better. Cool? 23, 22, 21. Remember, the goal is to bring the belly button down towards the ground. Try to keep the back relatively straight. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our pancake. Put your hands down. If your legs are really tired and they're not moving real well at the moment, see if you can wiggle your toes in. Well, wiggle your heels in, wiggle your toes in, wiggle your heels in, wiggle your toes in, wiggle your heels in, wiggle your toes in, wiggle your heels in until your legs are underneath you. And then see if you can walk your hands back up into standing. And whew, that is our third stretch. Right now, you might be feeling a crazy intensity right here in the inner thighs and in your hamstrings, maybe in the glutes. That is where you should be feeling it. All right. As normal, we're almost done with all of our hamstring stuff. That was the last round of super intense focus on the hamstring. We're going to move on into our fourth stretch. All right. The fourth stretch is the figure four or the pigeon. I am pretty sure we did the pigeon yesterday, so it's time for some figure four. All right. We got the option to do either the figure four or the or we got the option to do the figure four or the pigeon stretch. If you're a regular, feel free to jump into whichever one you prefer, whichever one you feel like you can get deeper in and have more control in. But I'm going to demonstrate the figure four today, and they both have the same fundamentals. One leg is going to come across the body into this thing that kind of looks like the number four. We're going to lift that ankle up towards our belly button. We're going to bring the belly button down towards our ankle, and we're going to get into this sort of folded position. All right. You're going to feel a stretch here in the side of your hip. This is a glute muscle. And you're going to feel that stretch here in the hamstrings. When your leg is turned around, it's going to be sort of like pointed that way. And you're also going to probably feel a little bit of something where you're actually doing the fold. Cool? Come on down to the floor. As I'm saying this, I feel like we did figure four yesterday, but whatever, it's okay. We're going to do figure four again. Lay on down. Ugh. Oh, that's nice. Enjoy the floor. I think yesterday I said the floor is cool. Enjoy the coolness. So I definitely did the figure four yesterday, but whatever, we're doing the figure four again. Next, we're taking the leg, we're crossing it over to the other side, and we're making this triangle shape with our legs. Cool? We're gonna take the arm that's coming from the side of where the leg is crossing, and we're gonna stick our hands through that triangle. We're gonna take the other hand, we're gonna wrap around the outside of everything. We're gonna meet it up and get into this situation where we're grabbing our knees. Cool? We're going to try and get a little bit deeper before we get into the count. All right? I want you to inhale, exhale, and pull that leg in a little closer to your chest. One more. Inhale, exhale, pull that leg into the chest. One more. Inhale, exhale, pull that leg into the chest. All right. Now, let your back relax. Fall backwards onto the floor. And we're holding this for 30 seconds. Keep pulling the leg into your chest. 29, 28, 27, 26. Keep breathing. Keep pulling that leg in. If your knees are feeling achy, you can go ahead and grab them directly and help pull them into your chest. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Keep on bringing that leg in. 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, relax. Let your leg drop. Chill. Hopefully you're feeling that intense stretch in your glute. And you're ready to switch over to the side. Let's go. Other side. Other leg crossed on over, making that triangle. You're sticking the arm from the side where the leg is bent. We're sticking that into the triangle. We're going to grab the other leg with the other hand, and we're going to pull everything in towards our chest. Whew. Inhale. Exhale and pull. Whew. Feel that stretch building in your glutes. One more. Inhale. Exhale and pull. That's 2. One more. Inhale. Exhale and pull. Woo, woo, woo. Feel that stretch building in your glutes. And we're going for 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. Keep pulling that leg in. If your knees are feeling a little sensitive, feeling a little achy, grab the knee directly, cup it, maybe with your elbow, with your wrist, and pull it in. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8. Remember, you really want to feel it in the side of that glute right here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh man, we're done. Whew. Lay down. Let your body drape. Let your legs fall to either side. Oh, flop over to the other side. Oh, and that is our fourth stretch. Oh, when you're ready, come on back up. We're going to get into our fifth and final stretch. All right? We're going to do some side splits. If you somehow don't know, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, to make the suffering that we put ourselves through every single day a little bit more fun, a little bit more easy to stay consistent with. All right? So if you like side splits, if you like hip mobility, if you like the idea of somebody on the internet helping you practice a little bit of consistency, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep on coming back because we're live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, which was 44 minutes ago when we started. Cool? All right, let's go. We got 3 rounds of side splits to crush, and then we'll be done. Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm saying this mostly to myself because I'm feeling a little under the weather today. I'm like, we're gonna do it. Yeah. Okay. Bring your butt up against the wall. All right. And take half a step. Just one tiny itty bitty baby step in front of the wall. Then we're gonna open up our legs decently wide. Okay. Nothing crazy. If you can get to 60 degrees, amazing. If you're a little bit higher up, that's totally fine. From here, just make sure your hips are not hurting. If they are able to do this, do a little wiggle, do a little shake, do a little shimmy, then you're probably fine and we're ready to fold. If your legs are going, and you're not really able to move, bring your legs in a little closer together. Cool? From here, we're ready to fold. Bring the belly button down to the ground. As soon as you get stuck, this is a good sign for you to see if you can touch the ground. All right? If you can palm the floor, you probably don't need to grab anything else. But if you cannot, or you feel like this position is a little uncomfortable, you can just barely touch it with your fingers, I recommend you go grab something to support your hands. I have this little stool. It's about 8-ish inches or so off the ground, and I'm going to use it like this as hand support. If you have a small stool, if you have a chair you can rest your forearms on, rest your elbows on, if you have a coffee table that you can kind of drag in front of you, put your weight into, that would be a really good prop to use. Cool? All right, from here, we're going to get a little deeper into our stretch. See if, while you're in this folded forward position, widen your legs a little bit. Cool? Next, we're going to rotate our legs so that we can get into a position where our hips do not smash into our thighs, so we don't have that pinching sensation we were talking about earlier. All right? What I want you to do looks like this. We're going to rotate the leg backwards 90 degrees so that the heels are down, the toes are pointing up, and the knees are pointing straight up. Cool? We're going to do that on both sides. Boom. Heels down, toes up, knees up. Hands on your support if you're using one. Butt is resting against the wall. And now I want you to slowly, using all those different forms of support, the wall, your hands, to slowly drop down a little deeper into your stretch. Cool? You can stop at any point. You don't have to push yourself further if you don't want to. All right? Breathe. Inhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper into the stretch. One more. Inhale. Relax. Sink a little deeper into the stretch. Adjust your position. All right? There's 2 main pieces here, the hand support and the butt support. They are here for a reason, to keep you from feeling like you're off balance, to keep you from feeling like you're slipping, to keep you from feeling like you don't have control. We want to feel like we're in control because that is how your body will realize it's okay to relax, to help us get into a deeper stretch. If you were feeling like you're about to fall, you're about to collapse into the heap on the floor, that is not going to help you relax. All right, it's going to make your whole body really tense because you're going to be really scared. You're going to be like, what's happening? That's not what we want. So adjust your legs, adjust your hips, adjust your butt, adjust your hands, get into a nice stable position, and once you're there, we're ready to continue. We're going to do a little lean to the right. We're going to do a little lean to the left. See if we can get just a little bit deeper. If you're really not going anywhere, despite how hard you're trying, it's probably a good time to stop. All right? We're ready to drop into our 30 seconds of hanging out in this position. We're not actually dropping any further. We're just hanging out. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. If you are still using the hand support, feel free to use the hand support. I don't use it as often anymore when I'm all the way down at the bottom, so I get rid of it. But for our demonstration purposes, you can absolutely still use it. If you want to, you can also rest your elbows on your hand support. You don't have to have your arms fully extended. And I forgot how long we've been counting for. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward a little bit. Slowly bring your legs in underneath you. Take your time. You don't have to go fast. Does not have to be explosive. Whew. Come into some sort of relaxing-ish kneeling position. And chill. Breathe. Relax. That was our first side split. We're going to do 3 of these in total. Don't let that scare you. Don't let that overwhelm you. The first one is going to be the roughest one. The second one's going to feel better. The third one's going to feel even better. It's somehow, uh, you know, isn't nearly as bad as the first rep. Slowly come back up into standing. And we're going to shake out some of the tension we just put into our body. All right? What I want you to do, take a look at your ankles. Lift them up off the ground a little bit. I want you to give them a slow, gentle shake. Cool? Pick up the intensity as you find that it's comfortable for you to do so, and shake a little harder, shake a little bit more. Don't just shake in one direction, back and forth or side to side. Do a little bit of everything, and get that ankle flopping around, going crazy. Right? The reason why we're doing this is because all the muscles that let your ankle go to those crazy places have to be relaxed in order for that to happen. And that is what we want. We want as many muscles in our legs to relax as possible. Cool? Other side. Shake, 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 shake. Start slow, pick up the intensity as you find it is comfortable for you, and then shake, 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 shake. Whew. Take a couple of steps now that you've shaken out your legs. Hopefully, you're finding that your legs are moving a little bit better compared to when you just got up off the ground and were kind of stumbling and wobbling a little bit. And that's a good sign. We're getting ready to move on to our hips. All your weight, I want you to put into one leg. All of the, or not all of the other leg, I want you to put the big toe down on the ground. Cool? And I want you to rotate the knee in, rotate the knee out, rotate the knee in, rotate the knee out, rotate the knee in, rotate the knee out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. We are trying to build a little bit of control and a little bit of strength in some of these hip muscles that most of us don't spend very much time exercising or using, but they're very important for hip mobility. All right? We're going to bring that knee in so that the knees are almost touching. We're going to rotate, bring the knee out so that it's almost going straight that away to your left or to your right, depending on how this video is mirrored, wherever you're watching it from. And keep going. Once you've done a couple of these, we will talk about how to take this into a more relaxed version where you're just letting muscles flop around in the next go around. All right. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down. Bring the knee in. Bring the knee out. Bring the knee in. Bring the knee out. Bring the knee in. Bring the knee out. In, out, in, out, in, out. The hands don't actually have to move. It just kind of is fun to get a little bit of extra movement. But the only thing that is really moving is this thigh bone where it connects into your hip, right? And underneath the skin, your muscles are contracting to make that work. So it's not just your bones are magically moving. Next, we're probably ready to move on to side split number 2. Cool. Let's go. Butt up against the wall. This is just a repeat of everything we did for the first go around. Take half a step forward. Open up your legs nice and wide. Make sure your hips don't hurt. If they do, bring them in just a little bit, and then we're ready to fold. Bring that belly button down. Whee! If your hands can come down onto the ground, you might not need hand support, but if you want it, feel free to grab a little bit of hand support in the form of a stool, a coffee table, a couple of old textbooks, um, anything that you can put your weight onto. All right, ottoman, that's cool with me. From here, we're going to get a little bit deeper. When you're folded forward, you should be able to get a little bit deeper without the hips hurting. But our next step right after this is to make sure our hips don't hurt by rotating the legs, rotating the thigh bone out of the way of our hips. It looks like this. We're taking this foot where the toes are pointing forward, our feet are flat on the ground. We're going, boom, rotating the leg back 90 degrees. So the heels are down, the toes are up, the knees are pointing up. And we got to do this on both sides. Boom, heels down, toes up, knees up. And once you're here, you're ready in a side split. All right. Scoot your butt so you're resting against the wall. Make sure your hands are right underneath you so you feel like you have a lot of control, and make sure to breathe. Inhale, exhale, sink a little deeper. One more. Inhale, exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Maybe one more. Inhale, exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Once you feel like you're about as deep as you can get, try to do a little wiggle, lean to the right, a little lean to the left, see if you get tiny little bit more. If you're ready to stop, we're ready to stop. Let's get into stretch number 2. For this one, I want you to walk your hands forward just a little bit so that your hands are underneath your shoulders. You look like you're about to do a push-up. If your legs followed you, your knees are going to be pointing up at around a 45, 60-ish degree angle. All right. We want this because this is going to emphasize the stretch in the inner thigh muscles a little bit more than the previous version. And we need that. Cool. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26. Do a little wiggle. See if you can just a little bit deeper. 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Ooh, bring your legs in underneath you. That is our stretch. Whew. Side split number 2. Oh man, if your legs are super tired right now, that is completely normal. Take a couple seconds to catch your breath and relax. Whew. All right, those seconds are over. Come on up into standing. We're gonna shake out our legs. All right. Take note of how wobbly your legs are right now, and let's shake out the ankles. Shake, 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 shake some more. Shake, 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 shake. Pick up the intensity gradually as you shake harder and harder and harder and harder. You'll eventually find some point where you just don't want to be shaking any harder, and that's totally fine place to stop. Next leg. Shake, 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 shake. You don't have to go 0 to 100, right? You can start nice and gentle and build up to some higher intensity. The more you do these, the easier it will be for your muscles to relax, the faster it will happen. And of course, the more aggressively you can shake. So start slow, start gentle, and someday you'll work up to crazy floppy looking ankles like me. All right. We're gonna move on into our hips. All your weight is in one leg, big toe is down. We're gonna focus on the basics. We'll rotate the knee in and out, and in and out, and in and out, and in and out. Do the other side. All your weight is in one leg, big toe of the other leg is down, in and out, and in and out. Keep on using those muscles in the hip to really focus on strengthening that movement, building control, building strength, so that you can have speed. All right. The next thing we're going to do is shake it out real hard with that sort of same relaxation idea of flopping around just like we did with our ankles. All right. We're going to put all of our weight in one leg, then we're going to rest the other foot down, going to give that leg a slight bend, and then we're going to start doing the in, out, in, out, in, out, but we're going to go fast. All right. We're going to go so fast, and there's going to be so little weight on this leg that the thigh muscles never get activated, they never kick in, and they're going to flop all over the place and look like that leg is made of jello. All right, shake, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 and whoo, that is shaking out that leg. Other leg. All your weight on one leg, big toe is down, bend the knee slightly, shake fast, in and out, 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 in and out. Make sure there's almost no weight on this leg. You can lift it at any time. and that will keep your thigh muscles from getting contracted from supporting your weight because there's no weight to support, and that'll let you shake out your leg a little bit more aggressively. Whew. Take a second, shake them all out, everything one more time, and we're ready to get into side split number 3. All right, but up against the wall, take half a step forward, open up those legs, fold, bring that belly button down. If you can touch the ground, you might not need it, but for most of us, you probably want to hold on to something for a little bit of support. Cool. From here, we're opening up the legs a little bit wider, and then we're going to get into that external rotation where we rotate the thighs backwards 90 degrees, and it looks like this. Boom, heels down, toes up, knees up. Other side, boom, heels down, toes up, knees up. And now we're going to adjust our position up against the wall. Butt is resting against the wall. Legs are in a comfortable, grippy enough position where you feel supported, feel like you're in control. Your hands are going to be underneath you, right on top of your hand support. And when you're feeling confident, you're feeling strong, we're going to breathe. We're going to drop a little deeper. All right, inhale, exhale, sink a little deeper. One more, inhale, exhale, sink a little deeper. Keep going. Inhale, exhale, sink a little bit deeper. When you feel like you probably can't just exhale and drop a little bit deeper, feel free to add a tiny little wiggle. Lean to the right, lean to the left, oof, lean to the right, oof, lean to the left. And when you're pretty sure you can't go any further, let's stretch. We got options. You can hang out in this version, the first one that we did, where our knees and our toes are pointing straight up and our back is more or less straight up into the sky. You can do version number 2, where we walked our hands forward a little bit in that push-up position, and you felt it more in your inner thigh. And those are your options. Figure out which one you like and get to it. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23. To make the stretch a little bit more intense, if your hands are on the floor, you can give the elbows a slight bend. When your elbows bend, you're going to feel way more pressure in your legs. If you're ready to go beyond that, if you know how to do uh, the low back trick to get your legs into a side split, where you put this little arch here in your butt, then go ahead and do that and see if you can get your hands off the ground. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. I have not taught you the low back trick on this live because it takes a little bit more time than I would like to spend on it. So for you guys who don't know what I'm talking about, stick with your heels down, toes up, knees up, and use a little bit of arm support. All right? It'll take you a long way. You don't have to switch to the other one till later. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. I hope that wasn't super confusing. Bring your knees in underneath you. Grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to. And that is our third and final side split. Whew. We are done with all the hard stuff. All right. Now is just a little bit of shaking, flopping around, relaxing, hoping your legs and hips work again, and then we'll be done. 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 Q&A, looking at comments time. I'm going to get up. Ugh. You guys start shaking out your ankles. I gotta solve this TikTok puzzle before TikTok gets shut down because it thinks I'm a bot. And I failed the puzzle. I typically always fail once or twice. And there we go. Boom. Hey, Che is over on YouTube. Hey, Che. Welcome. Thank you for the emojis. Thank you for the support. Rena says, toe up on the last exercise is hard to keep balance with toe up. Yes, it is not going to be easy. The reason why we do the toe up version is because there's two main ways to get into a side split, and they both kind of look a little like this, right? You can go like this with your belly button sort of pointing down, and keep your toes down like that. We get into it so that it sort of looks a little bit more like this, right? With our butt resting against the wall, with our heels down, our toes pointing up, and because we're slightly leaning forward, if you're using a stool, it'll be less leaning forward. If you're not using a stool and your hands are down on the floor, it'll be more leaning forward. And then when we do the push-up variation, we're basically super leaning forward. Um, We do that because it lets you keep a straight back, and it makes it so that we don't have to teach how to put this arch in your back on the live, because this feels like it's going to be a little bit more complicated than sticking your heels straight down on the ground, toes pointed up. Um, One of the cons of the heels down is that your heels are really small and they're a little tiny point, and to balance with your heels down and therefore your toes up is kind of challenging. So that is 100% true. If we, well, we're getting right into the Q&A. I didn't even do the cool down stuff. It's okay, no big deal. Let me finish this thought. If you want to, we can start experimenting. And if you're at home, you can set up a couple cameras, your phone, just on a little tripod or at the edge of the wall, and see if you can maintain this sort of arch in your low back. Right? Once you have this down, you can replace everything I say about the side splits with this version of the side split. Your feet stay down. You get a crazier stretch here at the outside of the ankle. And instead of folding forward like this, you're sort of sticking your chest up and putting this arch in your back to maintain that side split. Cool. The majority of the time when I teach this show, we're basically in either this position with our heels down, or in this position at a slight angle with our heels down. Basically, it's the angle of the hip to the thighs that matters. Everything else doesn't matter nearly as much. So, if you can find a comfortable position somewhere in between those three sort of setups, those will all be good. Those will all get you to the side split sooner or later. Cool? All right. For everybody else, let's cool down. Shake out your ankles. Shake, 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 shake. Hopefully, after however long I was just talking about stuff, your muscles are already cooled off, a little bit more relaxed. All the regulars, you probably know exactly what you need to do. So we don't have to go super in depth into our leg shake today if you don't want to. All your weight on one leg, big toe is down, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. Shake, 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 shake. If you're a regular and you have figured out this movement, by the way, you can just do that from the get-go. You don't have to slowly build up unless you really want to. All right. Again, all your weight is on one leg, big toe is down. We're just shaking out that leg. We're shaking so hard and so fast that the muscles that are not tense, the relaxed muscles, are just going flopping, going crazy. All right. That's the purpose of this. It is not that important to do it. You get most of the relaxation already from the ankle flop, but it's real fun to be able to do this. Cool. And also this skill right here, the internal external rotation, that's actually genuinely useful for other things in life. Just it's not that important for our side split relaxing. So do the in and outs. They're just not important. If you don't need to do them, you don't need to do it. That's fine. Cool. All right, what else we got? Joint checks. Let's do some hip circles. Take it nice and slow. Work our way through some range of motion. Oh, oh. Lean into that stretch nice and deep. And keep on going. Whew. Keep going. Do a little wiggle. Oh, to the other side. After the side splits, I tend to feel it quite a bit in the right and left side of the hips. And that's why I spend so much time in this kind of like crazy angled position. If you feel like those are the places where you are feeling a whole bunch of tension, feel free to hang out here. If you're feeling it somewhere else, feel free to hang out there. Cool? All right. Whew. That is a couple of hip circles, some hula hooping. Let's do a quick high knee. Boom, boom. And if your knees are working, let's move on into our calf raises from a squat position. I want you to put your feet right underneath your hips, not super wide, not super narrow, just hips width apart. I want you to pop into a squat. Slowly come on down. Oh, and once you're down, I want you to get into a position that kind of looks like this. All right. You can keep your butt a little higher up, or if you want, maybe this is like a 90-degree-ish angle. And I want you to almost lean forward. And then I want you to point your toes and your knees in the same direction and push your knees way forward past your toes, if you can. That is going to really make you feel like you're going to fall forward. This is important. That's what we want because when you feel like you're gonna fall forward, your feet, your toes are gonna kick in to help you stay stable. All right. When you're leaning forward, your big toes and all your little toes should be gripping the floor, and the arch of your foot should be kicking in to help keep the whole foot stable. That's what we want. From here, we're gonna do some calf raises. All right. Stick your hands down for support if you need it, and come on up. Nice and controlled. Up and down and up and down and up and down. You should be feeling it in your quads. You might be feeling it a bit in your low back. Your calves obviously feel it. And once you're ready to stop with those, you can do as many as you want. Let's talk about what we got left. And by what we got left is what we achieved. All right. When you have your knees past your toes, your leg is bent like this, the deeper calf muscle underneath the main, cool calf muscle. There's a deeper muscle that is getting a nice stretch. Now, if you put yourself in this position where your knee is past your toes, you can poke yourself to double check. The upper half of that calf might be squishy, but the bottom might be really tense. That is a really good stretch for your calf and your Achilles tendon. Cool? When we're leaning super far forward, the arch of our foot should kick in. The big toe and all of the little buddy toes on the side should be gripping the floor real hard to help keep you stable. All right. A lot of us in our shoes all day don't get that many opportunities to get our toes to kick in to do their job. All right. So there's an opportunity to get a little bit of extra toe action there. Next, your quads were firing. They obviously didn't like you. You're probably feeling the burn the whole entire time. Your low back feels the same way. Your hips, your knees, your ankles, your feet, those are all working real well together. And all the tendons that connect all those things together, hopefully, well, you probably wouldn't notice them until they got into a really bad state. So, because you don't feel tendons telling you that they're sore. Hopefully, if you're able to do most of those things, 80% of them, you're probably doing good. And we're ready to wrap up. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits, working on your hip mobility. We are done for today. And you should come back tomorrow because we do this live every single day at 9 p.m. It is currently 10:09 p.m., so that means we started an hour and 9 minutes ago. If you're not in the time zone where Eastern makes sense or 9 p.m. Eastern makes sense, then we started an hour and 10 minutes ago, and that's our standard time. Cool. All right. Rena says, "Thank you. See you tomorrow." Lovely. Welcome. And I'll see you tomorrow. Yandel sends a heart in brackets. I assume that's just the heart emoji. I wonder if that is like the TikTok app being confused and just giving like a text form of the. Anyways, whatever. What am I even talking about? Love Mika says, "I'll join tomorrow." Amazing. I'll see you tomorrow, Love Mika. Comment tomorrow if you show up, and I'll welcome you back. Because now that I've read your name, I'm gonna remember it for tomorrow. Rena says, "Okay, thank you." Chevelle says, "Bye, thank you, Ken. Good night, everyone." Good night, Chevelle. Um, Rena says, "Thank you for the answer. I understand now why it's essential for the exercise." Awesome, great. It's just to simplify the show so that you can, you know, get into the movement a little bit more easier as a beginner. If you are super invested in it, you can spend more time in it, and then you can figure out the intricacies and the stuff. But to make the splits happen in a short time on a live format for new people, that is how I reduce the complexity and the difficulty by making your heels suffer a lot. Love Mika says, "Wait, are you going to teach me how to finally do a split?" I would hope so, but I'm gonna be honest. I still don't have mine, so I don't know if I can fully get you there. When I fully get there, I guess we'll see where everybody else. It's entirely possible that I just have really stiff genetics around stretching, where my body just doesn't like stretching as much as some other people who are very into stretching. And this is not like a hobby thing. This is like a your predisposition to being a super stretchy human being. I've been super stiff my whole entire life, so it's taken a really long time to get to this level of flexiness. If you have a past life as a dancer, it might take you a third of the time that I've already spent to finish up and get your splits. All right, so everybody's going to do this a little differently. And I've been doing this for a long time. Rena says, "Show up on the last exercise, hard to keep." Yep, we talked about that. I demonstrated different variations of the side split for that. D says, I'm late and I'm on vacation, so I haven't been partying with y'all. D, if you're on vacation, you should enjoy the vacation. You don't have to come back and watch TikTok. I hope the vacation is lovely. I hope you're having fun. And I hope you stop doom scrolling and sleep so you can have an even awesomer next day on your vacation. Cool? All right. Travel Darcy says, hello, hello, hello. D says, hello, everyone. Amazing. Sending good vibes. I appreciate you all. And I'm going to scroll up, see if there's any other comments to reply to. Che and Chareth send an awesome emoji. Leroy sends roses. We got a question that Travel Roxy answered. Kasky says, what is benefit? The majority of the benefit from the stuff that we're doing is helping your muscles and your brain to recognize that it's okay to get into whatever position that you are seeing us do. If you get in general a little bit more flexible, sometimes it'll be more comfortable for you to do stuff, right? If you have a lot of hamstring flexibility, it'll be much easier for you to sit on the floor and just chill like this, right? Most people can't sit on the floor because they don't have enough hamstring flexibility. They naturally want to hang out in this position. And in fact, if I don't focus on it consciously, I'm going to also want to fall backwards. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry, I burped. Uh, if you can get more comfortable in a position on the floor, it'll be much easier for you to just hang out and do things. If you got kids, you got grandkids, you got nieces, nephews, if you want to hang out on the floor, play games, etc., it's going to be much more comfortable if you can actually sit down, right? It doesn't have to be nieces and nephews. If you don't like people, pets, right? Cats, dogs, little things on the floor, those things are all hanging on the floor. If you can hang out on the floor a little bit more comfortably, that's going to be super helpful. The pigeon stretch is basically this, which kind of helps you stay on the floor. The pancake is basically this, which kind of helps you stay on the floor, but also helps you fold and get a little bit more comfortable and helps you to shift your chest forward to help you balance a little bit more. So it's easier to get on and off the floor. The stretches that we do have little benefits that if we went down on a deep list of why it was useful, it would be really confusing because you wouldn't understand like why would I want to be able to lean forward a little bit more. When you start using it in your regular life, you're like, oh, getting up off the ground is a lot easier now. That sometimes becomes a more meaningful benefit. Is there anything else I want to address? No, I think that's it. Let's go. I'm scrolling up. What else we got? Charles Roxy says we are doing the second stretch, but feel free to finish up hip cars. Yes, that is true. Oh wow, I think it's been pretty quiet in the chat then. Marina says I'll start now. I'm missing the first exercise. That's absolutely okay. Don't worry about that. Rena says we are 10 people. Give us 2 seconds, please. I'm sorry, I didn't see the message. Hello, whole entire super group of 10. Probably should have known, so I could have slowed down for you because 10 people is a lot. I hope you enjoyed the show and I hope you had a lot of fun because that looks like it's all the comments. We are done. Foot fascia hurts. Oh, your wife's foot fascia hurts. I don't know what you got to do to address foot fascia. That is challenging because foot fascia is not like a muscle. It's not something that you can actively train very easily. There's not that many people, at least on the internet, who are talking about fascia. There's a couple of experts out there who talk about, I think his tagline, I can't remember the username, so I'm going to just fumble and butcher a whole bunch of the things that he says from memory. His thing is the average human body has like 22 pounds of fascia, and the fascia is hugely important for explosive movement because it helps you do things that your muscles aren't nearly explosive enough to do on their own. And his content that I've seen is a lot about like explosive jumpiness and power. Um, so I should probably go check out that guy a little bit more to see if I can learn some more about foot fascia. But I don't have a good answer for you. I don't have really much to send your way actually, because I can't think of that many people who are uh, fascia experts, I think typically people would go find something like a foot massage of sorts. People might go experiment to see if it's actually the fascia that hurts or if you have some deeper muscle situation going on. I hope you get that checked out and I hope you find help because I am not going to be the one who's going to be able to offer it to you because I don't know. Cool. All right. Sorry, Robert. And I hope your wife feels better. Yandel says, yes, heart emoji. Thank you. Amazing. Rena says, thank you. See you tomorrow. And that is everything. All right. We are 17 minutes into the next hour. This live has been going for about 75 minutes. It's time to wrap up. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming in, practicing a little bit of consistency, working on your hip mobility, working on your side splits. And I hope I'll see you tomorrow. Because this whole show, yes, we're doing the cool hip mobility, side splits stuff. And that stuff is cool, helps you move better, helps you feel young. But the most important skill that we're building is the practice of consistency. Okay, you can have the best plan ever, but if you can't follow it, it's not the best plan for you. And for most people, most skills, you got to put some consistency in to really earn it, right? And that's why it's so hard. Consistency, at the end of the day, I want you to come into the live. I want you to remember every single time that you show up, you're becoming a more and more and more consistent person. And it doesn't have to be about the live. It doesn't have to be about the side splits. It doesn't have to be about hip mobility. When you practice consistency, when you show up over and over and over again, maybe you're writing it down in a real notebook, right? But maybe somewhere in the back of your head, you're starting to believe in your subconscious that you are a consistent person. Once you truly believe that you are a consistent person, you have unlocked superpowers, okay? Because all the hard things out there are all blocked by this wall, and that wall is called consistency and putting in the work. So, if you need a little bit of help with consistency, if you want to work on that hip mobility, if you want to work on those side splits, make sure to hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back because we're live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern time, which means we started an hour and 20 minutes ago. Cool. Yasmin says, I just got here crying. It's okay. It's okay. You can come back tomorrow. The live for this video will be up in a little bit. I don't think this is my best video. I had a lot of like word garbly blah, 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 words. I'm also feeling a little under the weather today, so my stretches weren't feeling as good as usual. But remember, this is about consistency. You bring what you got for the day, and you don't have to bring 100% every single day. All right, that's enough. That's enough lecture. I'm ready to wrap. Thank you so much once more, everybody, for coming in. I'll see you guys tomorrow. It is Wednesday. Cool. I'll see you Wednesday. Bye. Hit follow, hit subscribe. Thank you, Rena. Yes, everybody, put in reminders and calendar invites and alarms and whatever else you need to show up. I'll see you guys soon. Bye.